Ladies and gentlemen, this is Danny Desrick and welcome back to the playthrough of Chicken Invaders, Cluck of the Dark Side, and welcome back to Random Game Mondays as well. So last time we left in Chapter 3, now we are continuing to it, Chapter 4. And as you can see right now, we are traveling into a planet, a little bit of change of space rather than we're destroying chickens in space. Our little obese hero here is, eating and slaying some more chickens in a planet under the sea, which is rather nice and a really great change of pace, I believe, because, it can get quite repetitive doing the same thing, even though, the waves usually are different, so this is actually rather cool. Now there are 4 of these type of chapters or missions, as you call them what you want. These little things take a little bit more time to drop and they can be quite annoying in the later parts of this game, and you can see why. But anyway, there are 4 of these and this one is actually my second favorite. I think in this part we'll be seeing 2 of these planetary missions. They are kind of, here, instead of, top vertical shooter, right now we are in a horizontal scrolling shooter, and it kind of takes a little bit of inspiration from an very old game known as Gradius, where you cannot hit the ground. If you hit any environments in the stage, you are going to explode, so I suggest that no one hits the ground in these stages or touch anything. As I said, anything that you touch kills you, even the ground. So you have to avoid everything in this game. And there we go, we have some keys. We're racking up some keys right now. And these jellyfish can be rather annoying because they take a lot of health. So basically all you have to do, is this one's rather easy, I believe. All you have to do is just follow the path. It tells you where the safe spot is. And look at this, we are now, it's kind of like a little bit of a classic invasion here from the original Space Invaders. So this is actually rather cool, I'm not gonna lie. Just like I said, the only problems that I had recording these sections apparently, because these sections, they have a lot of graphical things going on, the water, the ground, and as I said, this game actually does look rather decent. The game came out in 2014, so it does look rather real decent, and the texture quality is rather great, and recording, these types of areas really took a lot of a toll on the frame rate of the game. As you can see it right now, it's really, you can really see it dropping. It goes to 60 to 30 to even on the 20s, so yeah, you don't want to touch those tentacles either. These are actually rather longish chapters, however, they're not really that long to bore you, but I think there's one that is rather drags too long, but anyway, when we come to that, we'll come to that. Yeah, the laser weapon, as I said, it's pretty good, it's pretty strong, but man, does it overheat. And it's really not that useful in the later stages of the game because, it can overheat pretty quickly. So, you don't want that to happen. Because in the later stages of the game, you rather want to, fire all the time, but with the overheat of that gun overheating really fast, you don't really need it. But as I said, I'm gonna pick it up anyways because I like a challenge. I always like a challenge. And yes, like you see, these guys are annoying, and whoa! That's my first death. That's my first of many, I believe, and look at them, they are taking way more health than the ones before. And it's not that this gun is not that great. Okay, maybe against them it's not the best because the lightning gun does deal a little bit more damage on them, but yes, you have to look at their pattern they shoot. You have to really be cautious here because one slight mistake and you die. So these planetary time missions, I it's very hard for me not to die in them. I always, especially the superstar difficulty, I always somehow manage to mess things up and end up dying. And yes, that section right there, you have to do it pretty fast because you'll get completely crushed by the tentacles. So stay in the safe zone and just rush through the other side because you will not make it. So that was the last wave of this chapter, and we're gonna go around and hit the third boss here. That was cool. Now the third boss is kind of a really creative boss. That it's a jellyfish, it fires like that, and it has a lot of health compared to the previous bosses. So I think this is where the bosses starts to get creative. This is where the bosses start to get rather a little bit, you know, difficult in time. Because it has a little bit more health. Now this boss does have a weak spot, as you can see that little tiny chick there. Hitting that will cause a little bit more damage to the jellyfish, and that's basically the pattern of the jellyfish. So you can see now he will repeat the same pattern again, but you have to really be careful to just dodge the bullets that he fires at you, or lasers, whatever they are. He does this, as I said, the jellyfish do require a lot of kills, but the shotgun here, the popcorn shotgun, does take him hit. I think this is the hardest move that he has, because he can really get you in a tight spot. But anyway, just keep doing this and you'll be pretty fine. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. And as you can see, he's dead, but he had a little bit more health than the others. And that satellite, the bird fluting, I think that's what it's called. I think that's the best one. You rather keep that. And we got an artifact. Yeah, these planetary missions do give you artifacts. And they are required, you know, they're part of the story. You have to collect 3 artifacts. So you can build a giant fan with them, and you can clear off the feathers of this kind of pointless and ridiculous story, but it's kind of charming in its own way. This game is small, you know, it's kind of charming in its own way. So I'm gonna let these cutscenes be here. Enjoy, and I'll be back. Okay, so we are back here with chapter 5. And we have some new types of chickens, the military type chickens. So they basically take a little bit more health than regular chickens or chicks, and instead of throwing 1 egg at you, they will throw twice, and there they are, another type. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is, I actually think, where the game really starts kicking off. This is where I think the game starts to get harder. As you can see, there's bullets flying all over the place now. You know, they are out for blood, they are out to kill you, especially in the superstar difficulty. Even in this way, man, it's a good thing that I had a decent weapon here for this, because if you kind of take them out late, they're gonna end up at the top and you won't have a chance to survive unless you throw a missile at them. But as I said before, the handicap prevents me to acquire a lot of missiles, so I have to use them pretty, you know, tactically, and there's cars, so I don't want to waste a lot of missiles here. But anyway, I think this is where it really starts kicking off. Just look at the next wave here. Look what's gonna. I think these guys are going overboard, man. These guys don't want to. Look at that. Look at them all. They indicate you, though. They do a split second where they have a line or a dotted line there, but it's just a second. So you don't have to stay on here. Those alien flying saucer UFO thing. And there it is, my second that I didn't even know what I got killed by at that moment, but now seeing the video over again, I know what I did. I didn't just see that, so that's just a ridiculous mistake that I can't afford to do. As you can see now, I lost 5 power-ups again, 5 power levels, and now I'm no longer in max power, so it's a good thing that I have the shotgun, but because that just only thing that upgrades its rate of fire, but if I have another weapon, they will be weaker now, and it's already taking a lot of hits to kill the chickens with max power, let alone without max power, so it's really important, you know, to keep max power in this game, especially from, I think, chapter 5 or 6, because if you don't kill them, they will come close, or just kill them too late, they will, you know, assault you, and that's another death. And without max power, it's gonna take you a little bit longer time to kill them, and go figure. And here we have another satellite. I don't know if it's the first time we're seeing this weapon. I don't think it's that special, to be honest. It has a great fire rate, but it's actually pretty weak in damage. It actually does look really cool, actually, but it does tend to overheat a lot quicker the more you hold, but so you have to really control the burst of this weapon to actually succeed with it. Because if you just keep holding the trigger down, or the mouse button should I say, and there we go, we reach max power, it goes a little bit faster, and it does deal more damage. Now I don't know, man, and the frame rate when using this weapon, I don't know, just keeps slowing down, because it, you know, it's really nicely animated. Yes, it looks really done. Good. And yeah, again, I don't know if you've seen this, but this is like, this kind of weapon is kind of, I think you already saw this. So it's actually rather nice as well. So I don't know now. Let's just keep slaying and killing chickens because our obese hero here wants to get more obese. I don't know if you can tell, guys, but I'm tired of talking this long. That's why I'm taking a little bit of break. But anyway, I like doing this because, as I said, I'm not feeling Advanced Warfare anymore lately. I even rebought Black Ops 2, to be honest. And man, I hated Black Ops 2 because of connections, but they are far better. I don't know if they're... because now they fixed a lot of issues with Black Ops 2, but they are far better than Advanced Warfare is. And just like I said, I think that Ghost is better than Advanced Warfare. Yeah, I said it. I think that Ghost is better than Advanced Warfare because of, I think for me function is important. So I don't think you'll be seeing a lot of Advanced Warfare on this video. You'll be seeing them once, maybe sometime, maybe if I feel like it. Yeah, these egg cannons, these egg miniguns take way, and I mean way too much hits in Superstar Hero. As you can see, they have a little bit of health bar there, it goes blue, but they take way too much hits in Superstar Hero. And I had a close call in this one because a Superstar Hero, you know, you can't. It's impossible to, you know, pop them up before. Like that, like there, you know, they just go up and go down after you, and they just explode. But anyways, right now this wave is actually pretty cool. I think I like this wave a lot. It's rather, you know, chaotic, and I can't deal with it all the time. And yes, we have another type of rapid fire weapon. I think this is actually, you know, and there's another one. This is an assault rifle, I believe. It kind of looks like an assault rifle. It doesn't deal a lot of damage, but man, its fire rate and its overheat, you know, compensate. It barely overheats. Just look at that. I'm holding on the mouse button, and you can barely see that overheat bar climbing up. You can fire this thing for days, and it doesn't overheat. I'm serious when I tell you this, and that's what I like about this. You know, high rate of fire, which means more damage per second. To these little crazy chickens here that want to destroy the earth, because we are oppressing our planet's chickens, so they, you know, they don't want that to happen anymore. It's time the chickens have taken an axe, and why do we stop them? Like, don't the chickens have the right to live? Or to protest? The Emperor appeared. What you're gonna see right here is, well, yeah, you guessed it, Darth Vader, a chicken of the chicken part. Now this boss can catch you off guard the first time playing it because of that he does that wave, but that wave thing. But you know when he's gonna fire those lasers, and they rotate always counterclockwise, and he does that over again. But now the gimmick of this is that, as you can see, your ship has a malfunction and will start to rotate all over the place. So you have to know where you're gonna go, where you're gonna hit him. Change your position, that benefits you, and you can deal some massive damage to this guy. But that's all he does. But I think the first time you play this guy, he can really, you know, pack a punch. And this time I think that this guy is the hardest boss. And yes, you're gonna see a lot of reference to Star Wars in this game. Like, this is not a giveaway, but in the previous video I kinda made a little mistake. I told you that the final boss, or the ship of this game, is called the Enterprise. And that's a reference to the Enterprise, and I say it was from Star Wars. Now, I don't want to, you know, have any conflict with the Star Wars and Star Trek fans here and start a war, even though I'm not a popular channel here for any kind of that, but if anyone random guy stumbles upon this video and say, oh, the Enterprise is not from there, now after I made a little bit of research, I see that the Enterprise is from Star Trek and not from Star Wars. So I apologize if I made a mistake in the first one, but I'm not a huge Star Trek and Star Wars fanatic. And as you can see, yeah, the bosses are getting a little bit creative and kinda harder. And yes, they can drag a little bit too long, just like I said. But the Emperor is down. The Emperor is officially down. Now I can take a little bit of a break. A well-deserved break. I have some water here. I don't know, man, today. I really don't feel like talking, but now we're back with another planetary mission, and yes, this kind of now goes to take the form of Life Force, a very old game. Now first we had Gradius, now we have Life Force. And they are both developed by Konami. So maybe the developers of this game, well, have taken a little inspiration from Konami. and their space game. And yeah, I had to use the missile there. That was a close call because if I haven't there, yes, you cannot touch anything in this area as well. And from a planetary mission, I think this is my least favorite as this one drags long, and I mean long, man. It's a very long mission. And it kinda gets a little bit boring because this is all it happens. You know, there's a little bit interesting gimmick twist here and there in this one, but it's just dark, you know. It's not even to look at it, you know. It just looks great, but it's just a plain black dark background with, you know, crystallized rock over it. So even compared to the other one and the other planetary mission for thing, this really, I think this is the least appealing to the eye. And yes, for me, appearance to the eye matters. And you know, just, you know, all you do is kind of do like this. And the reason why it drags too long is because for some strange reason, instead of you continue going in the mission, you have to, you know, kill all the chickens in the area and then you get to proceed. Which I kinda don't like that, because like I said, I don't want the chapter to drag too long. And we're racking up a lot of keys here. And yes, you have to destroy those crystals, because if you do not destroy those crystals in time, especially if the speed kind of changes of your ship or how the environment scrolls, and that simulates movement. But if you do not break these crystals in time, yes, collision with those crystals will get you killed. Just saying, yeah, look, it's just like Cat Mario, doesn't it? Mentioning Cat Mario. And even in my video where I said honesty and said truth, the background music I put there is for a reason. And go watch that video, I'll try to recognize the background music. Yes, I'm giving a little bit away here, but Random Game Mondays, next game, hint hint. And mentioning Cat Mario, should I, if anyone watches this, should I attempt to do that? Should I attempt to do a rage game on Random Game Mondays? I don't know. That game's pretty not random, because I don't want to, you know, someone say, oh, you're a PewDiePie ripoff, but don't screw yourself, man. PewDiePie played that game way after other people have played it beforehand. So, no. And it's been a while. I think the last time I played Cat Mario was in 2009. So I will have already forgotten everything, and I will have die a lot. But I don't really like those type of rage games. I think they're stupid. Although this game is kinda, I don't know, this game is rather easy on its regular difficulty. And even on Veteran it doesn't give that much trouble, but in Superstar Hero, man, things have changed, things change. Especially in the later parts. As you can see right there, you have to really be concentrated. That's why I decided not to do this game live. Because if I do this live, well, I don't think I probably have reached this one. And we have found yet another weapon. Now, contrary to the Lightning Friar, the more you hold this weapon, the more damage it gives. But over he is slightly fast as well. So the point of, you know, holding this, keep holding the trigger down and fire this weapon is really not a viable solution. You would rather want to tap it, but that doesn't make it, you know, powerful. And I think that this, personally, is my least favorite weapon of the game, and I tell you why. because it just fires one strand of beam, and you can just only kill one chicken at a time. Instead of this where I can, you know, take all of them. And there's a weapon similar to that. It behaves like the lightning fryer, like the more you tap it, the more you hold it, the less damage it gives. But it gives way more damage than that one, and it actually behaves similar. And the point is that that one starts with lower damage, so you tap it, you start giving lower damage, and the other one starts with high damage, so you tap and you're always gonna give out that maximum damage, so, unlike the other ones, you're gonna be giving the minimum damage. And mentioning that we have this one, as you can see, they are very similar to each other, and we're gonna, you know, take out the Heart of Darkness, the boss. Now this is actually a great creative boss. It looks different than, you know, some chicken thing. And just like I said, the boss are kind of creative, but I think it's rather easy. I think this boss is way easier than the jellyfish and the Darth Vader ripoff there. I think the only thing that it has, you know, that can, you know, be a threat is these little amoeba things. I don't know what they are. Germ things. Because that crystal is highly predictable. I think it would be a tougher boss if they didn't make that blind. When the crystal shoots, because you know that can get you off guard. Especially in Superstar difficulty, I think it would be better if they removed it and just left it in regular. And as of right now, I have never died or lost a life to this boss, which I think is the only one. And I think the other boss that I haven't lost a life is the first time. And yeah, we finally got the best weapon in the game. I personally think that this is the best weapon in the game, and if I wanted to have an easy time, I would never switch this weapon off, and I will just, you know, wrap with this. It deals a lot of... Just let me tell you this. It deals a lot of damage, it barely overheats, you know, it has the characteristics of that green gun and this red spread gun, both into one, so why don't you want to use this? Which I think their guns are pretty decent, and I said the green gun was one of the best weapons in the game. So that was all the 3 chapters that we're doing today. So part 2 of 4 has been finished, and I can now, hallelujah, stop talking. And we'll see you next time on Random Game Mondays. And just want to bye bye.